ranges. So here a range is a group. I said if the cells are in consecutive order, okay, one after the other, then we can simply consider the range, okay, from the first cell to the last cell in the range, okay, in the group. So a range is a group or a block of consecutive cells in a worksheet that have been selected or highlighted or named together. So when cells have been selected, they are surrounded by a black outline or border, okay. When we select a cell, it is surrounded by a black outline or the border. The same way there is a range. Range means group of cells, okay, consecutive cells. Okay, so you can see the boundary, like if you have selected group of cells, then you will be able to see the black outline or the border outside, okay. The shape of the range is always, it will be either square or rectangular. A range shape cannot be irregular, okay. Its shape cannot be irregular if the range is having consecutive cells, okay. So selecting the range, how we can select? We have studied that how to select a range through mouse and keyboard in previous class, okay. In this chapter you will learn about some more methods of selecting, okay. So here we can extend a selection with the help of F8 key. F8 key is a function key, okay. It is 8th function key. It is the topmost key. You can see it in your keyboard. Now what is range? A range in Excel has to be a square or rectangular shaped. It cannot be irregularly shaped, okay. A range is a group or a block of consecutive cells in a worksheet that have been selected or highlighted or named together, that I have explained here also, and in the previous slide I have given you example. So when a range is very large, now what will happen if the range is very large? Like if here we were adding only 4 cells, okay, 4 cells, and then it was very easy to write the formulae. But now what happened if there are so many cells, like we have to add 100 numbers, okay. Then what we have to do? It will be very time consuming if we will write all cell addresses, cell references one by one. So what we have to do here? We will use range, okay. So if the range is very large, then dragging through the range is also cumbersome. Then what we have to do? We can use the F8 key, okay. So in such a case, we can opt for extending a selection wherein only diagonal corners of the range are specified. So how to extend? Let's see. First of all, we have to click on a corner cell. Then we have to press F8 to extend the selection. The status bar will now reflect the activation of extend mode by showing extend selection at the bottom. Now what will happen when we will press F8? We will be able to see extend selection here. Got it? That means we are going to extend the cells. So now click on the diagonally opposite corner cell. What you have to do? We click on diagonally opposite corner cell, okay. And then to turn the extend mode off, we have to press F8. Now selecting multiple range simultaneously. If we have to select multiple ranges in different places in the same spreadsheet, then what we have to do? Okay, here you can see this is first range, this is second range, and this is third range. So what we have to do? We have to press Control key. Got it? So sometimes you need to select multiple ranges together. Okay, there are 3 ranges. So to do this, we will use Control key. Let's see how to do it. So first of all, we have to select first range. Okay, from here to here you can select it by dragging. Now other 2 you cannot select by dragging. For that you will have to use Control key. Okay, so now we will hold down Control key. Okay, you don't have to release Control key, or you don't have to press it again and again. You have to simply hold down the Control key and don't release. Got it? Then you select another range. Okay, then again what you have to do? You have to repeat the same steps for the other range also. Now selecting complete row or column, we have to use shift space, okay, for the row, and we have to use control space for column. Okay, like whatever is the active cell, wherever you are, like here we are on A6, and when we will press control space, what will happen? A column will be selected. Okay. Now if we are on A6 and we press shift space, then what will happen? A6, this sixth row will be selected. Selecting entire worksheet. When you will click on A, automatically whole column will be selected. When you will click on 3, automatically whole row will be selected. And when we click here, then automatically whole worksheet will be selected. Okay. So selecting entire worksheet, we can also use the shortcut key Control A. Okay. To select everything in the worksheet, we can use Control A, or you can click here also. Okay. Now naming a range. If we want to give, like in the previous example I told you 3 range in one single worksheet. Okay, and obviously all those ranges will be having different types of data. So what we have to do here, we can simply give a name to different range. Okay, so how to give a name? Select the range to be named. So what we have to do, we have to select the range. Like this is first range, select it. Okay, and this is name box. I told you earlier, this is formula bar and this is name box. Okay, these are column names, these are row numbers, and you have to select the range, and then after that you have to type the name here. Got it? In the name box. So here you can see these are office stock, office items. Okay, so you can click on click and write office items. Okay. Now whenever you need to refer to this range, what you have to do, just click in the name box and pick the range name from its drop down list. Got it? Whenever you want to refer to particular range, when you will click on this drop down, you will be able to see the range names that you have given to different ranges. Okay, like here 2 ranges are there, office items and quantity. Okay, so you can select whatever you want. Now cell referencing in worksheets. Cell referencing. Now I told you that you can simply refer a cell with the help of its column name and row number. But now what? There are different types of cell references. Okay, so as you know, each cell in the worksheet has a unique address that I told you. Okay, it will always refer by the combination of its intersecting column and rows. So when a cell address is referred to in a formula, its writing style determines how that cell will be referenced during the calculation. Okay, so when we have to refer it in the formula, its writing style determines how that cell will be referenced during the calculation. Okay, so there are 3 types of referencing that will be written in a different manner. So first is relative referencing, then absolute referencing, then mixed referencing. Okay, so first of all, let's see relative referencing. The cell references and the ranges that it contains are usually based upon their position relative to the cell containing the formula. Okay, so whenever we create a formula, the cell reference and the ranges that it contains are usually depending on the relative position. Okay, position relative to the cell or relative position of the cell containing the formula. So this is the worksheet. We will consider the same worksheet, and then now here the cell E6 contains, you can see E6, this is E6 contains the value, and this value comes by multiplying the price and the quantity. Okay, what it does, see, multiplication of C6 and D6. When you will click here, you will be able to see the formula here. Okay, so now this formula is interpreted, okay, interpreted internally in terms of positions of participating cells. These are the participating cells are C6 and D6 here. Okay, relative to the cell containing the formula. Okay, relative referencing, the type of referencing in which cell references change relative to their location when copied. Okay, so what will happen when we copy the formula? It will automatically change the cell reference relative to their location. So in other words, when formula in E6 is interpreted internally as the product of cell value, that I already told you, what is E6? Multiplication of C6 and D6. Okay. So here the product of two cells on the left, that is C6 and D6. Okay. So the referencing techniques differ when a formula is copied. Okay. So here it is different from other cell referencing according to copying these formulas to different cells. Okay. So now what happened in case of relative cell addresses in the formula, when a formula is copied, then its interpretation gets copied. That is, when we copy the formula, what will be there in E6? C6 into D6. And now what will be there on E7 and E8? It will automatically change according to its location. Got it? Now what will be the value? C7 and D7. Okay. In E8, what will be there? Equals to C8 multiplied by D8. Got it? So according to its relative location, the cell reference will change. Okay. So then interpretation of this formula, the product of cell value, two cells to the left of the current cell will with cell value one cell to the left of the current cell. They gets copied. Okay. This means the formula for E7 becomes C7 into D7. Okay. During copying the formula, the relative cell addresses automatically gets adjusted with respect to the current cell from the formula is being copied. Got it? Here it will automatically adjust the cell reference. So you can see here. Okay. Once it is written C6 into D6 here, when we copy it, automatically it will become C7 D7 here and C8 D8 over here. Got it? So this is relative reference. We are copying the formula vertically, then what will happen? The row number will change. Okay. But when we copy it horizontally, the column letter will change. Okay. Now absolute reference. Absolute reference contains dollar symbol in front of the column name and the row number. Got it? Like this. You can see here the column name, there is a dollar symbol here, then $6. Okay, C6 will be written as $C and $6. Now what do you mean by dollar? Dollar here means when we copy the formula, the value will not change. Okay, wherever the dollar symbol is, the value will be fixed. It will not change. Okay. So now if you copy a formula containing absolute cell address, this is absolute cell address now. So only the relative cell addresses update. Got it? Relative cell addresses will update, but absolute cell address will remain the same. It will not change. Okay, because there is dollar symbol there, that means the value will be fixed. Okay. So if the formula in E6 is C6 into $D $6. Okay, here. And when we copy it, what will be there? Here it will be C7 into $D $6. You can see here C7 $D $6, and here it will be $C equals to C8. Okay, like this. Okay, into $D $6. Okay, you can see only the relative cell address will change, cell reference will change, but absolute will be fixed. Okay. Now mixed referencing. Mixed means combination of both relative and absolute. Okay, it is combination of both relative referencing and absolute referencing. You can see the definition here. And what will be there? Either there will be a dollar symbol with the column letter, or there will be a dollar symbol with the row number. Got it? Means any one will be having the dollar symbol. Okay, if both have dollar symbol, that means it is absolute. Okay, if there is no dollar symbol, that means relative. If there is dollar symbol in either row or with column, then it will be mixed referencing. Okay, that means wherever there is a dollar symbol, that value will be fixed and other values will change. Okay, so if a formula having mixed cell address gets copied, only the relative part of it gets updated. Got it? The relative part will change and absolute part will not change. Okay, the rest remains absolute. Okay, so for instance, if a formula in E6 the formula is C6 into D$6. Now when we copy it like this vertically, okay, this is horizontal, we will see it later on. If we copy it like this here, then what will happen? This is vertical, we have to copy it vertically. So the relative part, this is relative part, so C7, C6 will become C7, here it will become C8. But you can see in this there is mixed relative and column name, but you know when we copy it vertically always row number changes. Okay, but here there is a dollar symbol in front of row number, so row number is not changing. Here you can see 6 became 7 and 7 became 8. So here if there is $6, then it will remain $6 and so on. Okay, now if we copy it horizontally, then what will happen? I told you column letter will change. If we copy it like this, if we are copying, then column letter will change. If we are copying it like this, then row number will change. Okay, so in mixed referencing, now we can see here the column name is actually relative and the row number is not relative, it is absolute. Okay, it is fixed. So C6 will become D6 here and D$6 will become E$6 here. Okay, so this is horizontally we are copying the formula, here we are copying the formula vertically.